COP26 may have come to a close in Glasgow, but 3 legacy public art pieces will remain in the city, reflecting on the impact of our environment on our mental health and sparking a cross-community conversation about where hope can be found for the future.
The future is incredibly exciting. There's plenty of reasons to be hopeful, but many of us find that hard at the moment to see that hope. If these pieces of art, if that can spark somebody to start talking, then that's extraordinary.
The world is a community, and it's a community that's heading for trouble unless it starts to behave in a way that gives citizens of each country hope for the future.
The world is in a deeply challenging position, we all are. But I do believe there's hope.
There's this problem within our community. How can we make it better? How can we improve it? How can we solve that problem for the better of all of us?
Lots of people in Glasgow need that sense of hope. Tenements with their shared toilets and all these kind of things were not great places to live, but they were a community. When these houses were beginning to be knocked down, people were decanted.
When people lose their connections with place and each other, they start to undergo an inner collapse. Something goes when we're no longer connected with real people in a real place.
When I was brought to Glasgow, I was on my own, just turned 19, had little money, little abilities with language. There was very little support, and I just couldn't reach out.
Working with asylum seekers and refugees through the Mental Health Foundation, it was very clear there were a lot of barriers for people because mental health, the term itself, doesn't exist in a lot of languages.
I ended up staying at home for an entire 2 years, literally not seeing anyone, not speaking to anyone. I was definitely losing my mind at some point.
I suppose I really suffered from the whole West Coast of Scotland male syndrome where, straight-faced, nobody knows what's inside there. You don't show your emotions, you don't discuss them, you don't do whatever. When just suddenly the world collapsed on me, I just went completely off the rails. Suddenly became unemployable, homeless.
We are symbiotic creatures in many ways. We are shaped by our environments, and when your environment is unhealthy, when it doesn't enable the human spirit, it really does affect people who live there.
The things that help people feel good about their lives are things like good housing, decent jobs, a nice green environment to be in, and so on.
Honestly, I want to live in a community that cares about each other. I want that to be reality globally. It is quite a lofty thing to want. It'll take so much change and so much work. But I don't think it's too much to ask that as people, we care about each other, we care about where we live, we care about our communities, our environments.
A life where you have learned there's no hope for you. It's entirely possible to turn that around.
The people around me will give me hope. Seeing compassion and good energy coming from people gives me hope. My neighbor has been an absolute delight, literally. He just gave me a loaf of bread 2 days ago, and I was running out of everything. And I wake up, and he leaves me with that loaf of bread. And how nice is that?
This is where the real community part comes into it. And this is where the activism part comes into it. Activism to me is just doing things, going out into your community and working with people to make things better.
It's about how we can make a difference, how coming together individually and as a group, locally and globally, we can make a difference to climate change. We were asked if we wanted to get involved and do something for COP, building better, building greener, lower carbon, and linking by taking better care of the environment, how you take better care of not just your own mental well-being, but that of your community too.
As people become aware of the fact that we are about to undergo an immense change journey, and we do that against a backdrop of uncertainty, the mental health elements that we are emphasizing in these 3 sculptures are really important, because we have to look after one another on that journey.
It's a child looking out with hope.
To produce a sculpture which represents hope and purpose and meaning for the future, and to replicate it in various bits of the city, is a signal that we have concern for all of our fellow citizens.
We've connected with people in the community, and they've written messages of hope that are being engraved on all 3 sculptures.
When life is dim and you realise the damage done to our planet, just look around and you will find caring people who are able and willing to help. I always remember that anyone can make a difference.
I dream of a world where our differences are the binding power of our communities.
All of these world leaders, they might never make the decisions that we want them to, that we need them to, unless it's really clear about what we want to see for our future, what we want to see in our societies, and about the type of place that we all want to live in.
Every human being on Earth faces this shared challenge, and that should be a huge binding force for us. That should pull us together, not pull us apart.
And so we're wrestling with challenges that might crush us and defeat us. But you know, they might also help us to grow. They might give birth to something in the human condition that we would hardly believe is possible to bring about.
The streets will be full again, the music good again. The gentle will rule again, and the lover will be human. The fools will be found out, the lies will be drowned out. The sun had its practice, a lifetime of rising.